Hi, this is Stephen with a video that's very different today. I have purchased many costumes for my show over the last 30 years. I purchased a bunch of them off Temu, and I'm going to go through like this shirt here, these shirts there, all of these, and a bunch more which you can't see because they are piling now currently on the floor in another room. I'm going to edit this video and show you everything that I've worn in regards to being a professional magician and entertainer for my show. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because anybody who wants to get into show business as a magician specifically, but also some other things which we'll come to, you might find inspiration from how these shirts look. I'm going to try and post the links to any that I can find in the comments below, but depending on when you watch this video, know those links may be expired. You'll have to search for them, and I'll give you some tips if I can. And the prices which I say may have changed as well. And I'll go through Temu as a purchase option later. But there's many other things that I want to discuss, and I'll try and do that during the course of the video. Okay, so starting off with the shirt that I'm wearing. This is a nice King of Clubs shirt. Wearing it with the buttons up at the moment, but it also, I think, looks slightly better if you're wearing a t-shirt underneath. So you don't really get the King of Clubs effect, but you do get a nice shirt. Although as a magician, you'd probably want it to show the king. You could do it as a reveal. You could have your shirt like this so that you can't see the king. You then do a card trick, force the King of Clubs, and then when you do this, boom, King of Clubs. So the shirt can be acted as a part of a trick for a big reveal. This is a double XL. It's a silky material, and I'll show you as much as I can. I'm aware of the camera angles and things like that. Also the microphone, I'm not using a microphone today because I'm taking a shirt on and off. It would just sound awful. You'd hear the ruffling. So you'll have to trust this onboard microphone, and hopefully it's coming out clear. Okay, so that's the King of Club shirts. This is a Temu for purchase. I think it was £6, but again, prices may change when you look. And I quite like it as a shirt that I would use for certain events. I'm not sure where. Another Temu shirt for magic, we'll go for this one, is this one here. Now, I'm actually going to show you two parts of it because I like the ensemble of these two pieces. This is a t-shirt first. Actually, there's three pieces to this. This is the t-shirt, which is basically a playing card design. And if I can bring it close up so you can see a quality of the print, because with all these shirts, when they're coming from Temu, you're never sure what the print's going to be like. Sometimes they can be good, sometimes they can be blurry. I think it's like an image they have and they just stick it out into a computer and it prints out what it can. This one's okay, but going back into this one, this looks good, especially from a distance. I'm going to put this t-shirt on. I have to take the hat off now. There you go, we're past the intro. So this is a nice double XL t-shirt, so you can see how it looks. Nice and cool, nice black playing cards. So if you're doing a black card, black magician card, that's how I got. I've got some black playing cards around here somewhere, which are pretty cool. They match this design of card on the t-shirt. And I bought this, I'll show you the front and back, so that I could wear it as an undershirt for this shirt here. Now this is a long sleeve one, but I thought the assembled together might work. At this point, I'm actually not too sure if it does. I think the shirt works better on its own, but I'll go for the shirt. I'll button up the shirt just so you've got an idea of what it looks like buttoned up. I won't do the top button because I'm not going to wear a tie with this particular shirt, but I want to show you what it looks like. So if you wanted to do a close-up booking, maybe more so with this type of shirt on, you look like a magician, but you also have a little bit of style about you. We'll go through different, more classical looks, like a plain black shirt and the waistcoats as we go on. But this is the shirt. It fits quite neatly. That's my arm stretch. You can see where the stretch is. So I've got that, but I can also peel back the shirt. So if I'm going to do coin manipulation, my shirt isn't moving. So I've got the control of my sleeves. And not much in the way if you're going to do work with that. There's not much there. That's probably going to be your jacket. But you could do this and wear your dinner jacket over it so you've got access to your sleeve without having to modify your shirt underneath. So that's this shirt. I'll show you the front and back. And this is another Temu purchase. So a bunch of these at the start are going to be Temu purchases. I'm then going to go into other types of shirts. The shirts I've worn over the years for my shows and also other purchases. With this design though, before I take this shirt completely off, I did buy these trousers to go with it. Now these trousers, they're all sold separately, all around the £6 mark. And these trousers, the print is a lot less defined. If I can show you some of this, you can make it a little bit clearer. I don't know how that looks to you, but it looks blurry to me. So if it looks blurry to you, it's even more blurry to me. It's not the best print job. Now it could be the fabric. This feels like pajamas. These are kind of pajamas buttons, but they're very light. They are summer pajamas. So I wouldn't wear these for the show. I don't think, it might be fine in a stage show if you needed to dress like this for a purpose. I can't really show you these on camera because of the nature of where the camera's placed. But know that I bought the free. I don't recommend these. Don't buy the pants. They're just too, the pajamas. You're not going to wear those on stage. This shirt I think is amazing, and the t-shirt I think is amazing. I think they both look great, but I wouldn't wear them together. Looking at myself now in the camera, by the way, I'm using the front camera of a phone for today's shoot. I know certain people in the technical world will tell me to use the reverse camera, but because I need to see where I'm positioned with wearing these clothes, you're going to have to accept the slightly lower resolution, slightly poorer sound, just so I can get this video out to you. I'm going to take off this shirt, just because I don't want it to clash with the shirts that I'm going to put on next. So let's have a look at another one of the Temu ones. This is a Temu one that you might like to have a know about. It's a question mark shirt, and I bought this for the pretense that I might do a show where I was kind of the Riddler type of effect. In my case, I do a show which is all about puzzles, and I thought this would be a good shirt to do as a puzzler, the kind of character. I actually went a slightly different route with the costume, which I'm going to go to in a moment. I won't button this one all the way up. You can get the idea. It's just a normal shirt, just like all the others. However, being question marks, it might appeal to you. And you can get a green hat. So for me, I wear a black hat, so it matches the black with the question mark. I think the look is quite nice. And if I'm going to do care homes, I think this is a care home type shirt where it would stand out in those locations. That's what I like about it. It is a very nice, light, flimsy shirt. It is one I think you want to wear buttoned up. I wouldn't wear this with a t-shirt underneath. This needs to be the full, complete shirt, in my opinion. These are all double XLs. And as you can see there, the label. And they're all coming from the same kind of manufacturer. They've all got the same labels in. If I can find them. There isn't one in that shirt, but I use this one, just the trousers. Gonna have fun ironing all these later, but just so you can see, they're all from the exact same kind of group. So whoever's making them is just sending a image to the computer to print. So my guess is that image has to be high quality to begin with, and they're printing low quality images as well as high because they don't really care. Right, I may try another one from Temu on that regards. We'll go with this one. This is one that I use in my time traveling show. Now I do a show called The Wizard of Time. I'm not going to go too far into it because it's still a show in my working repertoire. But I have this shirt here, which I wear, which looks like clocks. And again, you can button this one up. I'll stop buttoning them up just so we can. I want to move quite quickly through this video because it's going to be boring to most of you. It's just anybody looking for inspiration might get some from me showing you what's available. So this is all kind of cogs to go with time, but it works. But then I found after buying that these t-shirts, and there's two here, and I'll put them on really quickly. You either like them or you don't like them, but I'm showing you what they are available. Again, double XL, and you can see it's lots of clocks. So for the Wizard of Time, it sort of fits that appeal because I'm wearing clocks. I like it for that. But if you don't want lots of little clocks, just say, let's say I'm doing a stage show. I would wear this for doing a close-up parlour room or a care home type show. But if I'm going to be doing a stage show, no one will be able to see the clocks. It will just look messy on stage. Another aspect of the costumes you wear, we'll go into all the why I've got so many things, is because this looks a mess from a distance. It is great close up, looks wonderful because you can see 1,000 clocks. It looks like what I'm trying to be. But on a stage, it's too much. So for that, I've got this shirt, which is one big giant clock. I'll put this one on. So from that, looks better on the stage. You can see a big clock, front and back. You could argue that this would work close up as well, which I would agree with. It just depends on the situation and having different. If I'm going to do two shows as the Wizard of Time, for, let's say, a cruise ship and I have to do 2 different shows, you might need 2 shirts anyway. Okay, but they're more for themed at. So let's go back to the more generic magician. Let's go off Temu for a moment. We'll come back to Temu, but let's go for something generic. Standard red shirt. Nothing too special about this. It's just a short-sleeved red shirt. I find it quite useful for certain shows. I would normally have this tucked in for several reasons, but for now I'm not going to tuck it in. And they all need ironing, so forgive me for that. But if you're after a plain red shirt, this one is made by Custom Kit. Put that there, because I know finding a short sleeve red shirt, as unbelievable as it sounds, is not as easy as you might think. And this is a classic fit, 2XL, and it's a cotton. It does feel like cotton. Forgive me, I'm not one for fabrics, but it kind of uses, I have it as an alternative to a few of my show shirts. This is one of them. This is one of my old ones from Pelican Stagewear. And I've got some entire suits from them, which I'll be putting on later. They will have to be after an edit because they are upstairs. This is one of their shirts I bought. It matches my colour scheme, which is red and black. I am going to do the buttons up for this one so you get a good clean view. Okay, I'll do the odd button. I'll skip it. Just do it like that for now. So you can see how it looks. It is a long sleeve shirt, but I've wrapped up the sleeves because I always keep my sleeves rolled up. It stops a lot of comments. I'll show you the front and back. I quite like the shirt. I wear it tucked out and it looks quite fancy. And it is I'm not sure what the fabric is. It feels very smooth. It is nice. But one of the things is the designs on they're like a little, I don't know what else to call it. It's kind of scribbles. There's scribbles over the shirt. It looks nice. I've worn it on several shows, but it's not got any particular place in any particular show. Let me go through to some of my more... The close-up outfit that I used to wear. Now, I used to wear this red shirt. Let me take it up here. With the black trousers. Now, this is a kind of dark red shirt. Thigh silk. And it's the one that I used to wear for all my close-up shows. And if I close up the buttons, I used to wear it with a white tie. Black trousers and a white tie along with the trilby, so I look like this. I might even have some footage of me on the computer wearing this, which I can show you. So there's no point in me buttoning it up because you can see it from that. It's the colour which I want you to take a note on. It's not any kind of like weird Temu design. It just looks a fancy red. So it stayed within my colour scheme, but didn't go into the more eccentric style. With it, I also had some waistcoats. To demonstrate the waistcoats, there's a black tie and shirt. It's a duplicate. I always had like backups to these things. Let me try and put on a black shirt. Not that one just yet. Give me a black shirt. The waistcoat. Okay, we'll just use the t-shirt I'm on. So you've got waistcoats as well. I should really specialise these in a different area, but these would you normally wear. This is a nice kind of glittery type shirt. Looks fancy. It looks like something from Pelican as well, but I don't know if there's any labels on this. Oh, here we go. Oh, M&S. So if you're ever wondering where to get things like this, M&S sell a nice waistcoat like that. But in my actual close-up shows, I'm wearing this. I wear the black shirt and I wear the waistcoat with the matching tie. I don't wear the matching pocket hanky or cufflinks it comes with. Cufflinks because I don't have long sleeves, and the pocket hanky is because I'm using my pocket for other things. But I like the gold parsley look, and added with the tie, I think it looks quite classy. I'm not wearing the black shirt right now. I probably should have left the red one on, but I like this look. However, if you're not into the red, not into the gold, it also comes in red. I'm going to bring these nice and close up. And again, these are really cheap. I think these were like £6 for the full set. So the full gold set or the full red set. And they do them in a variety of colours. So you know you can find them if you source. Another waistcoat which I've worn for the odd close-up show was this one. This is one with basically playing card pips all over it. As you can see there. Let me see if I can give you any information on this one. So this is by this company here. Okay, it's called Corporate Collection by Zoma, and it's size 20 for me. So that's a nice, it looks the part. If you need to go to a close-up gig where you look like a magician, which does happen, there are some events where it's required, that's an option. Some of the other things I will point out with my costume is I wear a lot of red. My standard branding colours are red and black. I've got my show costume here in a moment. But when I work for Manchester United, I can wear red. But when I work for Manchester City, I have to wear blue, which is an important aspect to make sure your colours don't lock you into certain contracts with certain people and exclude you from others. I learned that the hard way when I worked for Man City. I had to go out to a charity shop, buy a blue shirt just so that I could do that gig. With that in mind, let's look at the blue shirt. This is the blue variation of the shirt, which is in my current, well, the last few years I've been wearing a shirt like this, which is red. This is the blue version for that Manchester City type gigs. Let me see if I can find my actual show costume. Trousers I'm going to get to later. Don't need to do that. That's the shirt for next time. There's so many here, it's getting ridiculous. Oh, another Temu shirt. We'll get to that in a minute. All right. This is the shirt that I wear for my actual show. I also wear it with a black tie. You can probably see I've got tons of video footage of me wearing this, but I want to go through why I like this shirt. I wear it with a black tie. I might put that on for you now in a moment as well. This particular shirt probably hasn't been ironed, but because this isn't the one I'm wearing for my shows like tomorrow or later on this week, but this is one for this video. I have, and I'll go through all of this in a minute, I have 6 of these red shirts, and I will tell you why I wear a black t-shirt underneath. I'll do the black tie as well. Understand this is exactly the same as the one as the blue, only this one's the red one, and I have 6 of them because I did a gig on a cruise ship, and it was in the middle of the summer, so the heat was tremendous and I was sweating like mad. And what happened was all the sweat that comes under your armpit, it stained the shirt, and no matter what I did, I couldn't wash it out. Those stains were permanently in one of the shirts. Might even be was it in? I don't think it's this one, but I was just checking. So basically, because it ruined the shirt, and also looked awful because I only had that one shirt for the cruise, and I was doing 2 weeks of gigs, so that shirt just got worse and worse and worse each time I wore it. And I quickly, after realizing the problem, because I'd never noticed it before then, I started wearing a black t-shirt underneath everything, and the black t-shirt solved many problems. First thing it did is it stopped the sweat stains, it stopped them building up, so I could wash the red shirt. It didn't get rid of the stains, but it did stop more getting added to it. The t-shirt absorbs it all. The second thing it did, and I did not know this, it stopped my shirt from coming out. If you're a performer who has a problem with a shirt coming out of their trousers all the time, wearing a black t-shirt underneath stopped it. I went through tons of different methods. I wore suspenders, I wore special dancing garters that would connect the shirt to your underwear and all this nonsense, and it caused tons of issues and time added to set up. Just wearing a t-shirt under my shirt was the solution. And so I stick with black, and I'll go to the black in a minute. This is the shirt. Now this particular shirt and this one, I'll show you the label from this one so you've got an idea. It's from a company called Game Gear. I think they were made for bowling teams. So you know what you get, when you get to that age, you go bowling on the greens, but it's outside in the garden, and you get teams, or bowling in an alleys. This is for a team of people who all want to wear the same type of shirt to look like a group, and this is from bowling, from that kind of sport, with a black tie. So the t-shirt I'm wearing, I've got many actually. I do have more black t-shirts than you can possibly imagine, because basically I do a show, the shirt gets soaked, I stick it in the wash and just grab the next black t-shirts. So I must have about 40. I'm not kidding, I must have about 40 t-shirts. They all have different designs. I've got full thick wool ones for winter when I'm working outdoors. This one is a quick dry sports t-shirt, which you can buy from places like Decathlon or any sporting athletes type shops. They've got these shirts which are super flexible, and you can move all around, but they absorb everything that you need them to absorb. So there are different types to play with. Right, I have moved on from that shirt, although I still wore it for the shirt show yesterday because I'm lazy. I haven't bothered ironing this one yet. This is the shirt that I keep on meaning to switch to because I believe in rebranding every now and again. Keeps the show fresh. And this is the new shirt for the new show. The reason being I don't want to wear a tie anymore, and I'll go through why as soon as I button this up. Because I have a history of working in schools, more specifically special needs schools. I used to be a teacher for a special needs school, and we had a policy where you're not allowed to wear a tie, which was contradictory to my teaching. When I did my PGCE, you were told to wear a shirt and tie for every single, for your job. But in a special needs school, they can grab the tie and pull on it, and you're not supposed to wear ties. And I still do shows for special needs schools and special needs children in various aspects. So I was looking for an alternative to my traditional costume. And this is what I found. It's another one of the bowling shirt aspects, but it looks fancy without the tie. So it gives me that, I can now do shows. And as you can see, it still looks unique to me. I'm not wearing playing cards, which I love my playing cards, but for my actual cabaret show, I wanted a unique look, and I love the black trim. As you can see, even from the old shirt, you saw the difference when I held up just the red shirt was fine, but having these little black edges on the pockets make the trim better. If you've seen the videos of that I've been that I've edited this, you can see my hat has a black line around the red hat, a black trim. So everything works. And this shirt I think looks really nice. I like the look of it, and with black trousers or red trousers, because I did buy red trousers and red jeans to go with it if I wanted to get more of a look. I can't show you this because of the nature of the camera, but these are basically black jeans from Temu, and weirdly enough they do have the letter E on the pocket. I have no idea why, and I'm looking to see if there's a label for these black jeans. All it says is that, which I don't think helps anybody, but they are a very light, they're super bendy. I can dance because I do a lot of dancing in my show and a lot of moving around or kneeling down to be at level with the children because I like to be at the same height as them. So I need trousers that will bend with me and move with me. They're not dancing jeans, but they are dancing jeans. They are super lightweight. These are perfect for my needs. Whether I'm going to wear them or not is another question, because I'm used to wearing black jeans. I must have about 40 pairs of black jeans as well for different reasons, mainly because black jeans fade. They get worn out, they start to get patchy, and when they don't look crystal black, I'll just go get another pair. But I still keep the old ones to wear for any day-to-day life. I like this shirt. This is my current look, so please don't go and buy 20 of these and outdo me in my show. But just to give you the full aspect so you know what company. I'll check the label doesn't say much, just double XL. Let me check if there's any other labels. There's a label, doesn't say anything. I don't know what company made it. It was for a bowling team and I bought it off eBay. I bought 6 of them, because again I realized from the other time you need backup shirts because the shirts get wrecked. Just buy a backup, and I think I bought 6 of these because it's for a team, but they are kind of limited to that team. But there's tons of designs. You have to have a look. Okay, but to go with that, well, actually, no, we'll keep with the shirts. Here's another Temu shirt. This is another black and red one. I will cover it all like this so you can see. The print on this is okay. I'll show you the front and back. So you can see it's a nice cleaning. It is the Ace of Diamonds. I'm wondering, it's because it's got the 4 aces, I don't think you can really use this for a card reveal, but you could use it like this. I think it looks quite nice. For the right gig, I would wear this. I would wear this for a good close-up show, especially if they're going to take photographs. You want people to see who you are from the photo, or see you from a distance. Oh, it's the magician. You can tell by what he looks like. You move that chair that way. That way you've got a nice cleaner image for the camera. Let's have another look at another Temu shirt. There's my black trousers. This one here, I bet this one you may have seen before. It's everywhere on Temu, or at least for me, because it comes up in my algorithm. I'll cover it up like this for there. So you can see, I'll show you the print job. There's a little bit of kind of overlapping with the fabric. This is a little bit poor in regards to, if you can see the white spots, it could be artistic design. I will also show you parts because it's a little bit blurry. It's not bad. I will happily wear this. I think I have worn this. I wore this for some magic workshops. I did some workshops for the Scouts. I do lots of shows for lots of people. And for the Scout workshop, this was what I wore because it looked like I was a magician. That's what my job was. And I needed to look like a person who performs magic and teaches magic at the same time. That makes sense? The traditional red was to performance. This needed to be educational. The suit and tie would have been wrong. I wore this because I felt it was the better option for the workshop. Let's have a look at another one from the Temu line. You can tell Temu had a lot of fun with me, didn't they? This is the old playing card shirt design. Now you can see that looks a little bit, you can see how good it looks, but you can see maybe it's a little bit too much, so maybe having it like this, so you've got your t-shirt underneath and it's plain on your side, that I think looks better. For me anyway, I like a black t-shirt with a shirt not being buttoned up in the middle. But depending on your event, you may need to button it up just because of the nature of the tie event. The actual print job is okay. I'll come nice and close up. It's not too bad. It's good enough from a distance, but if I bring it up there, you can see it's close up, it's missing bits. Like if I do that ace, can you see the ace is missing some of the red text? As though, my guess is it was a low quality image. It has been blown up. I quite like it, but it's personal choice. It's very cardy, so that if you don't do card tricks, I wouldn't wear this. Let's look at some others. I'll take the hat off again. Here's another t-shirt, which I quite like from Temu. All the ink, let me show you close up. There's the quality of the print. It's a little bit blurry, not a bad case. So you see the label there is the same as that one. I'll put this one on so you know what it looks like. Again, matches my colour scheme. I quite like the design of it, but you can see from there, I think it's good. This one I think might suit an undershirt if I was just wearing a red jacket, for instance. Another Temu purchase, this red kind of jeans denim jacket, is that what it's called? So it's a kind of an ensemble of that type. Yeah, you can see the collar there with that one. So this is, it matches my colour scheme and I liked it for that. And when I'm doing shows outdoors, because I do a lot of shows outdoors, we'll get to coats later on. I'll have to edit the section for coats. But this is for, let's say it's spring type shows where you can't wear your coat, but it's too cold to not wear something. And that's what this is for. I also bought it with my parasol productions in mind. So I still do parasol productions, not as often as I used to, but I produce giant umbrellas. And I could use this jacket as an indoor show jacket, but line it with all my parasols without going too much into the methods. So it's at the right height for me to steal what I need to steal and produce when I need to produce. So you might like jackets like this depending on what routines you're doing. It's also good for splash bottle, because if I show you the inside pocket here, has its own little sleeve there. So if I was to grab a bottle, say this one, always stuck in the box when you want to pull it out. It's a latex one as well. So here's a nice latex bottle. I can pull that in there and it holds that bottle. So now I've got my production. Let's just say I was gonna, no compasses. Here's the trick. A trick from a previous video. I've got a nice big compass. I can produce the bottle. Different trick for a different show. But that's why I'm showing you this jacket, because that pocket there can come quite useful. And there's one on this side as well. So it's a hidden inside pocket. It's separate to this. They are lined so they're not going through. So it's got secret ins. So if you wanted to put your phone somewhere and not in the pockets. These are pockets for that instead. Okay, that's the jacket. Let's leave the coats for a minute. Here's another tie. We'll go through ties. Actually, we'll go through ties in a moment because there is a whole rack of them somewhere. More black jeans. A pair of trousers or jeans. These are another type but for star patterns. They are red jeans with stars on them. I will show you what later on. It doesn't say much. It might give you some clue to find them. They're on Temu. These are a Temu purchase. Doesn't say much on there either, so you're not going to get... It's a Temu. Just type in star jeans. They come in a variety of colours, so you could get green and white stars, blue and white stars. I did see them all there. They are a dancing material. They're a bit more stiffer than the other pair I had on earlier, but I could still move around in these. And what's important about the trousers I'm buying is they've got 2 back pockets as well as the side pockets. So if you know I do thimble manipulation, I need access to these access to these pockets for thimble manipulation. I need access to this pocket for my final loads, and I need access to this pocket for my hanky for various other routines. So I need jeans with all 4 pockets, and some jeans only have 2, sometimes 3 pockets. For some strange reason, they don't have a pocket on the other side. So that's an important aspect for me. Now, I'll go through some other things in a second, but yeah, there's lots of different reasons. Oh, that's an important email. I'll get to that, send that shortly. Oh, those chimes. Yeah, so I've had lots of rebrands. Now, let's take a short pause and explain the costumes throughout my life. I started off around in 1996 wearing a traditional black and white shirt with a black bow tie, white shirt, black show jacket. I also wore one of those sashes that people used to wear around their waist. I looked like a traditional magician, and that was fine. I then evolved and started wearing colourful waistcoats. While I'm talking, there's probably video showing you're watching this. You can see me wearing a silly waistcoat. Then, as my aging progressed, I started to wear silly hats. Those hats got sillier and sillier until I was looking like a clown. I then took that clown persona and took it even further and started wearing a silly, oversized, giant clown coat. I then got rid of that coat because it looked awful. I watched a video of me. The video you can see, I look a mess. I look horrible. But there's a video of me doing a show in this coat with this silly hat on. So I got rid of that. I then tuned it down. I found these colourful shirts that became really popular amongst the entertaining community, and I found these harlequin coloured trousers which were for chefs. These were chefs' trousers. Loads of kids entertainers were wearing them. They were the thing throughout the 2010 to 2015. Almost every entertainer in the world I saw was wearing these trousers with this shirt. Whether it was, I don't know if I came up with it first or just everybody came up with it at the same time, but that was when I was biggest on the internet, was during that time, and so I did have some influence. And it's also one of my first YouTube videos that went viral, was way back in 2008 with me wearing a silly costume like that. Anyway, so after a while, I should say that when I wore the clown costume, my workload doubled. Yes, if looking like an entertainer, looking like you're part of the show, like you're wearing a costume of some type, people who saw the photographs wanted me rather than anybody else. And so that's one of the reasons that I'm still in business after 30 years. I moved with the market, moved with the time, and changed my look to what the clients were wanting. And that at that time, they were after the clownish look, and it got me work, a lot of work. But in 2012 or 2013, I came to a conclusion. It didn't matter how much work that costume bought me. I looked like an idiot. I apologise to anybody who's a clown, but I just looked silly and it wasn't who I wanted to be. I got into the world of magic. I can do lots of cool magical things. I don't need costumes to do some magical stuff. And I wanted to be seen as the person the children look up to. Not literally, I mean as in I want to be you when I grow up. I wanted to show off. I wanted to be impressive to these people. I'm dressed like a clown. Nobody wanted to be me. And also, story aside, I did a show and I billed myself as a magician in the advertising. And the client would come in to the show from the kitchen every now and again just to watch this, just to see what was happening, and then go back into the kitchen. She never ever stopped to watch this whole show. And basically at the end of the performance, everything was great. Party was fine. She paid me, not a problem. But she mentioned that I thought I would see some more magic in the, she thought she would see some more magic in the show. And I said there was lots of magic in the show. She wasn't in the room at the time it happened, which is true. She was going in and out the kitchen and she just missed all the tricks. But it occurred to me on the drive home that she was right. It's not that she missed the tricks. I didn't telegraph when those tricks were. Because when she came in, I was doing things like the stop fire game with the letters, plate spinning feats, which I still do to this day to some degree, but it was more of a gamey thing. I did lots of silly bits of business that children's entertainers were known for. And it wasn't a magic show. And I said, why am I doing this? I got into this business to be a professional magician. I want to entertain the children. I want to be the person they look up to. I want to show off how clever I can be, like making my finger grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and just literally doing lots of weird things. I want to be that person who takes their thumb, pushes it through the air and shows you my thumb is going through the air. I don't need any props. I am a magician. My hands are the magic. And I decided from that moment onwards to stop messing around. Stop being this magician who just wastes time on stage. Actually, stop being the children's entertainer that just wastes time in their show to kill time. Take this opportunity to be a magician and show them a magic show. So in regards to costumes, I pretty much overnight ditched the clown costume. Now, I did have to think about what I was going to wear. The initial costume was a white shirt with a red tie and a red trousers with a red hat. The reason being is I still felt it looked like a professional entertainer, but was edging towards magic. That was a great costume. There might even be a video or pictures you can see. However, I had a major flaw. I wore a white shirt. The white shirt absorbed the stains, where the sweat stains piled up like mad. And I quickly learned a white shirt wouldn't work in my business because even a black t-shirt probably would have solved the problem. I didn't know about black t-shirts at this time, but the white shirt wasn't meshing anyway. So the other problem I had with it was wearing the red trousers. The same problem I had with the Harlequin trousers is if I get out of the car to go to fill up the car with petrol or go to the shop, people were looking at me. And I'm a performer on stage. I'm not a performer when I go to the shops. I don't want people looking at me because I'm wearing a silly costume. So one thing I discovered was to wear black jeans, and that looks normal, and just the colourful top will do the job, and I can wear a coat. So into that effect, I basically, okay, I got just, that's nice. A notification, we'll move on. So I basically wanted to be in disguise when I'm not performing. So I wore a normal coat over the top. Now, I then switched to a black shirt, and a black shirt with the red trousers. That worked for a while, but I was still wearing the red trousers, but it wasn't overly top. I could still wear a coat. The black shirt solved that problem of the sweat issues, and I wore a red tie, I think. There'll be pictures and videos. And that looked good. I wore that for from 2014, I think, to about 2016. But I wore it for a year or two, but it wasn't the final solution. The final solution is the shirt I've already been through, which you've already seen, which is the red shirt with the black trim and the black trousers. That was perfection for me. I still wear it to this day. I will probably wear it tomorrow because I can't be bothered ironing the new stuff. But I have got the new shirt, which I've already explained. And I will say that once I was established as someone who looks like a magician but still looks smart, and I'll go back to the shirt and tie in a minute, the work stayed coming in. And it was important for the photographs because my mindset was on getting good photos. You want photographs that the people are going to take, and whether it turns into work or referral work, I don't think about that anymore. I do not. If people book me again, great, but it's not my agenda. My purpose is to give them memories that they're going to have for the rest of their lives. They're going to look back in their photo albums, going to see a picture of me and know I'm a magician. They won't know who I am. They might see the banners with my names on the banners, but it doesn't matter. I am there to give them the best possible experience they can possibly have for that event, whether it be a birthday party, a wedding, a christening. I just want them to know that they can look at me, smile, be happy, know that they had a good show, and that's what I'm after. Everything else, work-wise, will come. If you do a good show, the customers will find you. Customers will search you. You can jump out in all the photographs. If they Google you, your photo, if you're looking like a magician, will jump out and beat all your competitors. So if you're someone that wears a smart suit for your shows, and I know there's one or two of you watching this that do, the reason I'm still here is because I look like a magician. One of the many reasons. Shirt and tie. So the other reason I made back around the 2013 mark was to wear a tie. There was a reason for that. Is because prior to that I didn't wear any. I just wore a shirt which was closed but buttoned up at the top, but buttoned to the top with no tie. And I decided that children are used to seeing teachers, and a teacher wears a shirt and tie. So in order to gain a level of authority over an audience who have never seen me before, I would come in wearing a shirt and tie. Yes, it would be colourful, but the tie would be black, but I would be colourful. But because I was wearing a tie, they knew to take me seriously. So the children were immediately ready to accept my command. So when I told them to sit down, we're going to start the show, because I was wearing the shirt and tie, they would do that. Having said that, in the last few years, since the pandemic, they've become less and less caring about the shirt and tie aspect. And after being a teacher during the pandemic, where I was told not to wear a shirt and tie because I was working in a special needs school, and in there you don't wear a tie for safety reasons, it became less, I don't know, the whole world seemed to change and it didn't have the same effect completely. However, I still liked how smart it made me look, and I still will wear a shirt and tie for the right event. However, as you know, I've got other costumes I'm going through today. So that's a brief story about the changing of my costume. There's more costumes to go through, including coach jackets and suits. Just while I go on to that, hats. I can do a lot with hats. Trying to do it on camera might be a fun thing. This is something new. Now, I started wearing trilbies around 2012. This isn't a trilby, this is a pork pie hat. But trilbies and fedoras. Fedoras I don't like because of the shape of my head. I get it, my head is round. I'm a little bit like a football, but with two ears that stick out. And I went through hats, and I found a few. We will go through them in a video that I'm going to have to edit into this because they're all downstairs. But I found trilbies were the best look because the fedora stuck out too much. The trilby, it helped my face become longer, as you'll see when we get there. But this pork pie hat is here, and I like the look of it. And it also allows me to do tricks, which we'll go through in a separate video, because hat tricks I absolutely love. You can do lots of cool things. Anyway, leave that hat for now. Let's have a look at the costumes here, then I can go downstairs and show you some more. Okay, this is one of the jackets which I bought. Again, this is for the outdoor shows, because I've done a lot of shows in the winter outdoors. They're not fun. So I bought this nice red leather jacket. This is for, again, we're working outdoors. If I open my sleeve, you can see it's not overshadowing my wrist, but it's here, it's a nice comfy fit. I will do up the zip. That's what it looks like. And there's a button at the top here. I'll admit, it's not, that is probably a perfect fit, but my personal choice is to be a little bit baggy, just for my comfort. But, you know, I can wear this. This is fine. I probably wouldn't do up I would do a show outdoor wearing this jacket. But this is a little bit tight. My size-wise, I don't even know. I used to be a 38 waist, but I've lost a bit of weight. I think I might be 36 now. But, so this is still 2XL. But it's a little bit tighter than the rest. That's the nature of clothing. It always changes. Ties. We're missing a few, so I'm going to have to go grab them in the edit. But there's one tie that I used to wear. This is a magician-y based magic tie. And for anybody interested, the label is there, so you know where to go research it if you want one. Also, there's the word magic in there. Other ties I've worn, depending on the nature of it. If I'm doing a club talk for, say, a WI, Probus, Rotary Club, I've got a formal red tie as well as some others. There's the white one that I would wear with the other shirt. There should be a stack of them here. Yeah, missing. We're going to find them in a minute. Here's a playing card tie. This is from Temu. So if you're after ties like this, the print on this is pretty good. That's a lot sharper. You can tell that's a nice, much cleaner print. There's no label that I can see, but it was nice and cheap. It was only a couple, I think it was only £3. And it said it's a thin tie, not like the wide ones. I'll show you one of these ones. So you can see the difference. If you don't know anything about ties, if you're new in this, the thin ties I think look much cooler. So you can see that's the difference in size, really, the width. But yeah, I would personally always go for this size now. It looks good. Right, okay, I'm going to go get some more clothes for you. So we're going to pause this for a moment. I'll be back for you right now. Okay, we're back with this section of video. These costumes, I've got to put some of them away so I can get the next ones out. So let's go through some stuff. I grabbed these off the top. So jacket again. This is the jacket that I'm currently wearing when I go do shows because I like the look of it. It's a red leather with black trims. So all looks kind of cool. If I put it on, just so you can see how it looks. Okay. I'm going to close up the jacket as well. So you can see I kind of look quite cool. I'll take that hat off a minute because I don't want to confuse you. That's another hat for in a minute's time. It does have a black hood. And I think I like everything about it. It's got black, these sleeve things that there, the black edges. Show you the black there. I love it. I love this design. This wasn't cheap. I think this was £40, which is cheap. Really, that is cheap. But for Temu, this is where this is from, it's dear for Temu. That's the beauty of Temu. Everything's usually cheap. But that hood off, I think it looks nice and cool. I look snazzy. I did a show in this yesterday because I was doing my Power Cell productions and I wore this jacket because it was already on me. Not much to say about this. It's got an inside pocket here. And there's nothing on this side and nothing at the bottom, so no splash bottle holders or anything like that in this one, but it is a nice jacket. It's what I like. Again, Temu if you like it. This is double XL, works really nice for me. Oh, actually no, this one's 3XL. So with that in mind, this is a good fit for me. I like it, and it's 3XL, while normally everything else is 2XL. So if you're going to buy this jacket, get one size up. As we probably realised with this one, because this is 2XL and it felt a bit small. So maybe the answer there is with Temu, for the jackets especially, get the 3XL, not the 2XL. Slightly different is this one. Now this is not really a performance jacket for me. It's one I wear, I'll let you decide if you can use it. But this is a hoodie and it's a kind of tribal hoodie. I wore it for the whole Blackpool convention. So I like the look of it. I want it to be comfy and stand out. It has a hood, but this has its place depending on the nature of your show or what you're trying to do. These type of hoodies, now they come in various different designs. I've got a bunch of them, but I've only got 2 for this film. This is the other one, which is more like a Lego. So if you're going to do a Lego based show, they do them in a different design. Now before, this isn't Lego imagery, but it is. Let me do the zip up. If I'm doing, say, a preschool or a nursery, and I don't need to look, I need to be a little bit more arts and crafty for a craft workshop, these are the kind of hoodies that kind of do that job. It's not a thick material. This is very, very spring, summer kind of wearing. It's very light. Don't expect to stay warm in it, but it does look the part. Okay, I'm going to take this shirt off just so it doesn't accidentally clash too much with what's coming next. Okay, let's look at this. A performance costume. that I wear at Halloween. Now, this is a wizard costume, but it's a very specific type. Again, my colour branding was red and black, so I went out and looked for a wizard costume of that nature. I'm going to put this on in a second, but just before I do that, I want to show you a couple of modifications I've worn, made. So I like this because of the trims, as in black edges with stars on them and a red cloth pattern. He has the black along, but what I've done is put my own pockets in. It didn't have pockets, so I got a pair of scissors, cut down the middle of it, and then this is carpet tape, but it's kind of fabric tape around the edge to stop it from fraying. And I did that to both sides because I needed to access my pockets for the thimble routines. So I'll put this on. There you go. Now, normally with this, what I have is a long neck polo shirt. I'm not wearing it right now, but I didn't like this necklace look. I didn't like that. And I don't want a t-shirt there either. It was a little bit odd. But I found a long neck polo shirt completed the image. In fact, here it is. I knew it should have been there. So this is a long neck polo shirt. I'll show you on that side. Currently down. But that, if you imagine at the top, you can just about imagine it. It adds to, it completes the look. Can you see that? Hopefully you can see that. Move these tassels that they would normally get tied together at the back. You do need to be able to tie, but imagine that there. That is a much better image than that. Hopefully that came across. So also with the polo shirt, it comes with this hat. The other thing I like about this hat is it's a bit stiffer, so it will stay upright throughout the show. Story time now. I used to wear a beard with this as well, a nice wizard's beard, and I stopped because I did a show once where I was dressed as a wizard on a Halloween show, came out on stage and I breathed, and then suddenly the hair from the beard went into my mouth, went down my throat and started to choke me live on stage. I couldn't breathe, and I was in the middle of a kids show with all the parents watching. I ducked behind my banner because I have two big roller banners, and I grabbed the hair and yanked it out my mouth. It was horrible. It was the most unpleasant experience I've ever had physically like that. And I just knew, something was stuck. I didn't even know it was the beard that was doing it. I just knew to grab something and pull it out. And that's when I looked at it and saw it was my own beard that I would basically breathed in. I then, within a split second, realised I was still on stage, came back out and pretended that I was being attacked by the beard monster. I threw it to the ground, stomped on it, beat it up and then threw it away and carried on the rest of the show with no beard. And everything was fine. Nobody cared. And that is the last day that I ever wore that beard, because that beard was super scary. It almost killed me live on stage. Having said that, I do have a Santa's costume where I have to wear a beard for the Santa's costume. But two things. One, it's a different type. It's not long and flowy. It's more curly. And I don't breathe. I'm not running around as much as Santa. So there's no reason to breathe as much as I did in the wizard costume. But there you go. Let's take this off. So if you're going to wear beards, keep that in mind. You've got to control your breathing. Needs to be very much controlled if you're going to wear a fake beard. Okay, let's look at some more ties. I grabbed those from the cupboard as well. So this one is a tie with a crossword puzzle on it. And I wear this for when I do talks and clubs. I do talks on puzzles, on the history of puzzles and optical illusions. And the crossword puzzle tie works in conjunction with the crossword puzzle section. A couple of more red ties I've had over the years. Here's a red one. Nice, and it's got little square patterns on it, so it looks quite formal. This one is much more black and darker red, dark black, dark red to thin red, more checkered. I'm aware that I'm just shooting through these just because I know for most people they don't really care about the ties, but you can see a blue one. Because I work Man City as well, Man United, this tie is for the other team. And now let's look at a couple of jackets. Let's start with this one. So I don't wear many jackets nowadays, but when I still do formal close-up events, I have this jacket, which is it's a different type of collar type, as you can see here. It's from Kit. If I put this on, you'll see what I mean about why this jacket is my magician's attire. Again, remember I'm wearing a shirt, well, the collar looks like that. I could put a white collar there and look like a priest, or I could look like many things. But I think it looks snazzy as a magician. It looks like a nice quality jacket to do magic in, especially if you've got the right shirt on underneath. The other jacket I have for the same effect is this one, which is currently with my black show gear. So when I'm wearing all black for a particular show, I've got that jacket. I think that's just a jacket. You're not going to get anything from that if I put that on. It's just like a jacket. This is a Temu purchase. Now this is a Temu 3-piece black piece suit. So this is interesting because I bought this thinking I would go to a funeral in it because I had a funeral to go to. When I put this on, I looked too fancy, too good for that funeral, and I had to change my clothes. Without going too much into it, because I should put a shirt on. Find a white shirt in this pile. I'll use the plain card shirt just for the sake of it, just so you can see what this looks like. Remember, traditionally you would wear a white shirt with this, and they do Temu sell those as well. Just do the top 2 buttons. And I'm not going to put the pants on because this video, you don't want to watch that. But it comes with trousers. I will show you that in a moment. So waistcoat first. Now the waistcoat has these fancy silver buttons. I do have to close the buttons up. The suit was actually a penny. I got it in one of the 1p sales, which we'll talk about as I put this on actually, because Temu do loads of offers. Never pay full price for almost anything until you're in an offer situation. And basically you would fill your cart up with a load of items, never check out, make sure all the clothes are at the size that you need them to be, and then the next day you will start getting inundated with emails. Every single day a different type of offer. Usually it's like £15 off, £25 off, £30 off, and then penny days where you choose any 3 items for 1p each, and then once you've chosen your 3 items at a penny, you got to spend like £100 from the Temu warehouse shop, and then you get those items for a penny. And it works for clothes. With clothes, you get them all the time. I have heard horror stories from people adding a Nintendo Switch for a penny and they didn't get it, obviously. But if you're going to order something like this, the suit arrived, and this suit is gorgeous. I don't know if this shirt really helps do it properly, but everything about this suit, put that in the pocket, I loved. In fact, I'm going to go back and buy the white one and the red one, but it looks super fancy. With the proper white shirt, I would be very happy with this. I could even add a black trilby to it and class. The trousers are of the exact same material as the jacket, and they are the same type of buttons. So as you can see, the buttons on the waistcoat. So it thoroughly matches, and it fits me perfectly. The measurement was 2XL, and this is a very nice comfy fit. Again, they're available on the Temu site. I might put a link if I can find it. The label doesn't say much, but I'll show it you in case anybody who understands things can read anything from it. But that's the Temu 3-piece black suit. I'm going to show you some more suits in a minute from Pelican Stagewear, sorry. But let me show you the other things first that I've got here, because I know we're going a little bit all over the place. Hats. I mentioned before that I'm now wearing this red trilby hat with a black trim. I can still do all my tricks with it. And this is from a company called Leary's, and it's a 59 large. Now, one thing you should know about this wasn't cheap. I think this was £50, which in the world of hats is actually cheap. But for me, that's dear. But this is It's the little bits. It's the black trim around the edge, the quality and the material, everything fitting. This, you can see the money in it. And I do like to wear it because it does the pork pie design, everything. This is actually a pork pie with a diamond cut, which is its own type. Just know that's the thing there. If you're into hats, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I did bring some others. This is a trilby black. I have a pork pie black, a different one. Well, this pork pie's got a wider trim. And I'll show you the labels. Made in the USA, doesn't help much. But it's because of the pop that in the right shape there. Because it's black, so it's not really popping against my black waistcoat. I'm looking at the screen, sorry, I'm not looking at the camera, which I should be doing, but it is nice. I want to show you the difference between this one and the first one. That one's got a wider trim than this one. Oh, this one, by the way, is a Kangol. I think I prefer this shorter trim curling upwards than the wide trim going flat. This is the original red trilby hat or fedora, which I used to wear. This is the fedora. It's got the wide rim, still got the trim. I don't wear this as often now. I prefer the pork pie hat. Also, I've been wearing this for many, many years. This is actually my third one because you can't wash them. I tried washing one once, it wrecked it, destroyed it completely. You cannot wash them. I try and sponge wash, like run a bath, use a sponge to try and wash it with a sponge as gently as possible, which will help, but it doesn't really work. Ultimately, I came to the conclusion I'm just gonna have to buy a new one. So when that one gets all the sweat from all the years, about 250 plus shows, probably about more like 3 years. I usually wear these for about 2 years, maybe 3. That's about 500 shows. Actually, it's more, 600 shows they go through. So imagine all the sweat from all over my head, because I've got no hair. Because I've got no hair, all the sweat from all over my head goes into the hat. So yes, I don't like it when kids grab my hat and try to put them on themselves because they quickly realise that hat is soaking wet. For me, I used to do shows wearing a sweatband around my head. You can still see footage of me wearing a sweatband in some of these shows because I would sweat a lot. I'm dancing. I do a lot of dancing in my shows, or especially depending on the type of show. So without hair, that's an issue. I didn't want the sweat coming into my eyes and blurring my vision. The hats are the replacement for the sweatbands because now the hat takes it all in. But they get to a point where this one's still fine. You don't want to see the other two. Also, you can't really tell with this probably on the camera, but it's not it's not keeping its shape as much. That's probably me cleaning it at some point. But also it's starting to, I don't know what the word is. The felt is starting to frail at parts. It's not too bad, but if I show it you in comparison to that one, you can see the difference. This one is still relatively new. This one is years old. You can see same material almost, but that one's losing its sparkle. This is a professional juggling hat. This is what you'll see with people on the street using it. It's a weighted hat in order to do lots of tricks with it. But it is a heavy hat, and if you look at that, that looks awful. I look a mess. This is not a good hat to wear for my look. And I mentioned earlier, I am all about the photographs. I want people to see how I look. This turns it into a little bit like a trilby, and I can do that. That looks a bit better, but it's still a bit bulgy on top, and I still pop it out like that, and it doesn't. I still do a routine in cruise ship shows where I wear a duck on my head. I've got a rubber duck, bath duck, double taped to my head, and this hat would sit on top, and I can take my hat off, and the audience see a duck. This is what I use that hat for. I don't use it for general shows anymore because I look silly. There might even be video footage of me wearing this. I make it work as best as I can, but it's too big of a hat for my head. Having said that, it's good for juggling. It's got its good weight, but I learned that you can do all the same tricks with a normal hat. A trilby, doesn't matter if it, let's just say, I'll use a trilby. So if I want to do any of my tricks, I can still do them. Trying to do them on camera. Do hat rolls. All it takes is practice. Yes, if you're going to start to learn, a juggling hat has some advantages. However, the big disadvantage is it's useless if you're going to transfer to one of these, because everything you learn about weight and manipulations and the way things move, if you learn them with one of these hats, you have to relearn them again from scratch using one of these. You're better off starting with the hat you want to work with and just learning where its centre of balance is. And once you know where its centre of balance is, you can control everything you want to. Yes, in this one, the centre of balance is all over the place because it's practically a symmetrical, evenly weighted hat. But it takes 2 seconds to master that. Once you've got it, you've got it. Learn it with a normal hat. Okay, so that's those hats so far. I've got a blue, by the way, with that, I've got a blue one of these to match the blue shirt and the blue tie, which I've got for the blue wash, again, red and black, so exactly the same. I'm not going to bother getting that one out because what's the point? And now I'm going to show you some of the suits from Stagewear, Pelican Stagewear. I'm going to have to do another edit here. So I will see you in about 10 minutes, but you will see me right now. Okay, we're back with the final part of this video. So let me show you the suits I've got from Pelican Stagewear and some hats. Let's start with hats. So because I'm bald, I wear a lot of hats and baseball caps. Playing card baseball caps. Again, available off Temu. They look pretty cool. They tighten up with this kind of beading system, this particular hat. So you can make it as tight as you want. It's too tight, it doesn't fit on my head now. You find the right space for it and perfect. So I will say with these hats, it feels there's a lot of fabric at the top. I'm gonna see if I can readjust it slightly. There's a little bit too much fabric at the top. I mean, that's fine, but I don't know, I've had other hats, it's probably fine. But I don't wear caps because look what it does to my ears. My ears are kind of sticking out with these. So I'm not a big fan of caps, but because they're a playing card base, I'll put that end through there so it tidies it up a bit. There you go. It is in the right for the right person. They might love this. And if you don't like them in black, they make them in red. So exactly the same thing, exactly the same fitting, but now we've got the red hat. Again, wearing it like this, comfy, it feels a little bit, there's a half a centimetre of space between the top of my hat and the top of the head, so the top of my head and the bottom of the hat, but it still does the job fine. But if you're not into caps, we've got other types. So this is a flat cap. If I can open it up again. So it's a flat cap design. This is more the style that I would wear normally. So you can see it has the playing card design. I know some of you are going on Temu right now. The links should be appearing somewhere if they're still available. But that's a flat cap of the playing card. Again, you can change it. It's only got 2 positions for this. So, well, no, three. So you've got 3 prestos to choose from, and you pick whatever size fits your head the best. And that gives you the flat cap. Also on the flat cap style, not magic, but this is red. This one fits beautifully. I love this one. This is one I would wear with one of the leather jackets. It's only because of the colour scheme. It's red leather and it matches me perfectly. That one is just elasticated back. But you might like them in your branding and colours. And one more, just because I've got many of these, but this one is fitting. It matches those kind of jackets I've been wearing, so it looks a bit more modern, a bit more cooler, hip. I like it for that. Okay, so that's all the hats. Before I do the suits, I'll just show you the trainers I'm wearing. These are the trainers I wear, probably need a bit of a clean, for my current shows. They are Nike Air. And I specify Nike Air specifically because they are really comfortable. I can dance in them, but they still have quite a good tread, and they're good. They give me an extra lift of about an inch. That's probably about an inch. And the extra height helps me look more enforceful in the room. And I also going to bring up, if you ever work on cruise ships. Now, specifically, depending on what job you're doing on cruise ships, you're going to want a pair of Nike Air that are all white trainers. Not for the guest ents position. Guest ents can wear whatever they want. But if you're going to work for the youth department or one of the onboard positions on a ship for longer than, say, 3 months, you need to wear all white shoes. But all white dress shoes will be sliding all over the place and they're not good. They allow, and it's actually promoted, to buy all white Nike Air shoes. Nike Air now make them specifically for this market, but everybody can buy them. And just know that's something that I know about in the industry. But Nike Air are my favorite. I've had many other brands over the years. I always come back to these. These are starting to, they don't last forever. As you can see with these, they are starting to fade, and this must be my 3rd pair, maybe even 4th. I got all black ones as well, but the black ones start to flake as well. So don't expect them to last 10 years. I get a good, I'd say 3 years out of them. I'd say 3 years before they start to look so distressed that I have to buy another pair. But when I need another pair, I go on eBay, just buy a second-hand set. Yeah, well, they're usually in good condition because people look after their trainers while I actually wear them. Okay, suits. This suit first. I don't wear these too often, but these are from the Blackpool Magic Convention. They have a dealer stand at the convention, and they're called Pelican Stagewear. They're the first stand on the balcony, and this is the first black suit. I've got a belt with a belt buckle of the Ace of Spades, as you can see there, to look nice and fancy. But the suit and the fabric is what I want to show you. So you can see it has a slight glimmering effect. The trousers, I'll put the jacket on. I'll go through the labels in a moment. So if I want to look fancy on a stage, this is my look for that. It looks quite good, it fits quite well. You can try them on. If you go to the Blackpool Convention, and probably some others, you might be able to see them there, and you can try some of the suits on. There is something I will go about the trousers especially, but let me show you the inside jacket. Some specs, and it's got the inside pocket. Let me show you a label. There you go. So you might be able to source them online if you know where to get them from. I'll show you whatever that label is as well. 62% cotton, 32% nylon, or 38% nylon. Yep, by Macron. So you can either Google that company, look them up, see what they've got online, look at all the different designs. But the other thing I need to tell you about this particular supplier of suits, what we'll do is just quickly check something here. I can stay in there. It's a hanky. Yeah. Sometimes you leave things in the pockets because it's been a while since I've used this suit. Actually, I'm going to stick that in the wash. I don't care if it needs washing or not. Why not? Right. What I want to mention is the bottom of the hem of the legs. It is unsewn. So this is what you're supposed to do, is measure it to your leg size and then sew it in place yourself. However, I haven't got a sewing machine or those skills, so I've just tucked it in for now. What I need to do is take it to a seamstress or get my needle and thread out and do it myself. I can do this myself, but it doesn't look great. It's a home. I'm not an expert. I can just repair things more than anything else. This is a proper tailoring job. So bear that in mind. If you're going to buy a suit like this, you may need to get some additional work done to sew it in. Okay, so that's that suit. Oh, I just found all my coat hangers. Right. I'll put this suit out the way. And I don't know if there might be 2 suits in here, so I was about to say final suits, but I could be wrong. Yep, there's 2 suits left. I wondered where the second one was. So the first one is this one. This is a red shiny suit. Again, this looks like, is this one I've done? No, this one's been professionally done, so not by me. Still got some kind of sticker in there. We'll get rid of that. So this suit was made for probably when I was a little bit slimmer, although I might be that now. It might fit me now again. It is, doesn't say, Macron again. Oh, it's Macron, so it's the same company. and it's a nice shiny red suit. However, I should point out it's ultra thin. If I hold it like this to the light, you can see through the material to some degree. It's not going to be a problem because you're going to be wearing black underwear, I'm guessing. But that is a tight. I might need to see if I can actually fit in this again. Here's the jacket. So it fits quite nicely. I look snazzy. For the right place, I would wear this suit. It looks the part. I'd probably wear it for when I'm doing one of my I do quiz nights as well in games. So I could wear this for an adult game show night. And the final suit, which is the one I would prefer to wear for an adult game show night, is this one. Nice and colourful, cheesy in some way, I suppose. It's got red, it's a lot of spots. It's a very unique fabric. We'll check the label. Yep, same company as the others. Macron. And I'll check the hem. This is one I've sewn, I think. Yep, I've done this one. So what I've done is sewn it in. And you can tell I've sewn it in because of where that little position of the line is. Whether that is shown on the camera, you can see I've done a basic job to make sure it stays in place. But we'll put the jacket on. And now, this is my game show attire professionally. I would wear the other one for when I need to. But I like to do more colourful shows in this. Maybe the odd care home. So that is all the costumes in my house. There's probably more actually. I'm sure there's some at the back of the wardrobe, at the back of the cupboards. I've had other costumes in my life. I did once do shows in a giant Garfield the cat costume, if you can believe that. There's even video footage, but I don't think I'm going to show you because I'm that embarrassed by it. And I've got other coats that I've had and been and gone. You've seen some of the clips. But hopefully that will give you some inspiration for what you can wear, some of the things you can look at. More importantly, it's going to send you to Temu and spend a fortune. What I probably should have done is set up some kind of affiliate link system so that I would get paid back from referrals, but I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing this to help you. All these videos I've been putting out recently are to help other entertainers have some ideas for what to wear. If you didn't know that playing card flap caps existed, now you do. The other way. If you didn't know about baseball cats, if you didn't know about special ties, here's a cool thing. Just as an extra throw-in, I will grab something. This is for my Wizard of Time show. It's a giant umbrella that opens up to be a big clock. I'm not going to open it right now because it's probably not the camera open when I open it. But you can also buy them with a twirl on them. And if you do 20th century, if you do the shrinking and growing head illusion, you can get one of those in an umbrella. Saves all that work. So all you need to do is spin it on your fingers like this, and now you've got the shrinking head growing illusion on a giant umbrella that fills the stage. Temu is great for lots of cool things, but for costumes, you've seen what this video has to offer. Hopefully you've got some inspiration. I'll be back with another video, probably explaining a load of hat tricks, because we barely touched upon that. And I think doing a couple of tricks with your hat really makes you stand out. It looks pretty cool. And then playing around with the costumes, because you've got celebrity tie. You can make your tie sing if you want to do stuff like that. There's so many tricks with ties you could also take and undo with. So many things. And watches. I always wear a Casio watch, a Casio digital watch, which is branded either pure red or pure black. No, it's not part of costume, but I like the digital watch because I can see it from a distance, as in exactly what the time is, without having to calculate things in my head. I know it doesn't take long to do a normal dial head, a clock face, but I wear digital watches anyway. Just my thing. And I don't wear anything too fancy. I discovered wearing an expensive watch, which I have, can sometimes people look down on you. If you dressed, I understand the rumor that you dress to impress. You're supposed to. Some people have mentioned you're supposed to look smarter than your guest. I believe you're supposed to look equal to your guests, only looking like a performer. And so, but you don't need to spend a small fortune. Let them spend £1,000 on their suit. You spend £40 on one of Temu. You'll look the same. Just don't show the labels off. But in most cases, just look equal to your guests and be fine. And also with close-up in regards to my shoes, I wear Nike Air pure black shoes for them. They're a mix between trainers and shoes. They've got the comfort of trainers, but they look like shoes, and that's what I wear for my close-up. I stopped wearing formal dress shoes because I slid once on one of their slidey wooden floors and it hurt myself. And I thought, well, forget this nonsense. Just wear formal black trainers that look good but have that grip and they feel comfy. I did a few close-up gigs as well, wearing for a black tie event, where after the 2 nights of doing it, my feet were covered in blisters. Dress shoes do not suit my feet. I found Nike Air trainers perfect. Thank you. Right, that's it for now. Catch me in another video, and I will see you in the future. Bye for now.